Okay, we have 30 people. All right. Welcome to another edition of Draw Me Anything. I think this is episode 26. This week, I have a very special guest, someone I've wanted on for a long time, one of my favorite New Yorker cartoonists. He's also a WGA Writers Guild America Award winner, Peabody Award winner. He's a fellow New Yorker cartoonist and writer for The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and has just joined us on Substack. He's only just started his own Substack. And if there's anyone that ought to be sharing their work on Substack, it's LSJ Rosen. But if there's someone else, it's SJ Perlman's corpse. But if there's one more person, it is the one and only Asher Perlman. Asher, welcome to Draw Me Anything. Hi.
Hello. Thanks so much for having me. My one intent for this is to get Alice Rosen to join Substack by the end.
For those of you who don't know LSJ Rosen, fellow New Yorker cartoonist, he might be the last cartoonist who's not on Substack, which is pretty fun. He's a great cartoonist. He has a newsletter, and today he mentioned that he might think about switching.
Really?
So if there's anything we accomplished tonight, it should be that.
All right. That's number one goal.
So congratulations, first of all. You have a new book out, finally. You have a second follow-up book to your first book, which was Well, This Is Me, and it's called Hi, It's Me Again. Congrats. That was this week that it just came out, right? Yesterday?
Yeah, Tuesday. Yeah. Do you want to see? I have a copy of it with me.
I want to see it. Show us all the copy. Everyone go and buy it on wherever you buy books, obviously. You have the big launch tomorrow night at the Bell House in Brooklyn, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
What's happening with that? Who's there? Who's going to be there?
Launch is really good. It's sort of doing a similar format I had last time. So basically, I have my friends come and do comedy, and then I'll sit in conversation. So I have Gary Gulman, who's one of my favorite stand-ups, and also an incredible basketball player. And Steve Valtine, who's one of my favorite comedians, not as good at basketball. Aaron Jackson, and a few people doing comedy, and then I'll do a conversation. And I had temporary tattoos made that I'm going to hand out to people.
Amazing. I'm going to have to get. Are they of Eugene?
Yeah.
Can we talk about Eugene for a minute? For anyone who doesn't know, who hasn't ever seen an Asher Perlman cartoon, how the hell did Eugene come into this world?
He's just kind of the first character that I drew more than once, because I mean, you know this from doing New Yorker cartoons.
Yeah,
there's not you sort of just say, there's not really like a recurring cast of characters with a few exceptions. Like obviously Charles Addams had his family, and I feel like who's the person who always does the same couple in the is that Victoria Roberts, or who is that?
Yeah, Victoria Roberts has the same couple. I think Maslin sometimes has a similar couple. I know Roz has a few characters she repeats sometimes.
Okay. Well, he was just the only character I ever had that I drew more than once, and I liked drawing him, and he sort of took on a life of his own, I guess.
Yeah, I feel it. Do you have a giant cardboard cutout of him somewhere,
Jason? Not only do I have it somewhere, it's accessible.
Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, Eugene. Wow.
I really should throw that away, but I just can't bring myself.
No, you shouldn't. Never throw that away. Do you sleep with that? Is that?
Yeah, I cuddle up on it every night. You know my theory about this though, which is because I didn't start in. I came up through sketch and improv, which is not a solo activity. And I think drawing is a solo activity, and that's harder for me because I'm so used to collaborating with people. I think on a subconscious level, I created a character to be sort of my collaborator. So to like sort of imitate the feeling of being in a writer's room in a group.
Yeah. You've always, because you came up through like Chicago improv?
Yeah, I majored in. I did a little bit of improv in high school, and then I did theater in college, and then after college, I moved to Chicago and did the whole Second City IO,
Annoyance, all that stuff.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that has kind of informed your process as far as writing and writing on Colbert and comedy and in general.
I think so. Yeah, I feel like the basic tenets of improv has sort of stayed with me throughout all the different iterations of my creative work.
Mm. So are you sort of more of the Del Close school are you a real Second City acolyte, or do you just sort of have your own open, source version of what you pick and choose from the different improvisational kind of, songbook?
I think I always picked yeah, I guess I pick and choose. I mean, I also think that there's less of a bright line between the schools of improv that than there maybe there once was. Like I remember when I
Mm.
first moved to New York, people talked about, well, there's UCB style versus IO style, and um
Groundlings.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like that I feel like that they're definitely started that way, but I'm not sure those. I feel like 'cause so many people, like, back in the day, you would kind of perform at one theater, like, that was your home theater, and I
Yeah.
think now with since everyone double dips, triple dips, I think there's less of a I don't wanna speak with authority on it, but I feel like there's less of a distinction between the schools as there maybe once was.
They all kind of blend together in the like overarching ethos.
I think so. I mean, I feel like it's kinda more like each school gives you a set of tools for the tool belt, and then in this when you're on stage, you just, pull whichever tool is most useful.
Mm. That's
Um,
nice. That's a good way to think about it. By the way, everyone in the chat, thank you for people are enjoying this. Thank you for posting in the chat. Also, at 8 o'clock, we are going to flip the camera and scribble. So hang out for that. And think about what you want to request because DMA is Draw Me Anything. It's like an AMA, but drawing. So if you do have any requests of stuff that you want Asha and I to draw, start thinking about those now. I want to talk about the book a little bit more because I happened to see it when we were in Philly.
oh,
Uh,
yeah.
we were at the American Library Association event. Scott and I were flogging our book. You're not a real dog owner until, and we were talking about humor and writing, and I saw your book. And there's one thing Scott and I write New Yorker cartoons together a lot, and we're sort of real fans of people who have a very distinct voice. Like I feel like I knew you before I even met you because of your cartoons. Don't worry, that's not a compliment. The, but like Steed and you and Ellis and Jason and Sophia, Hillary, everyone has like a real distinct voice about them where you kind of, it's them in, we're using the cartoons as like a conduit for their, observations. But like your books are the perfect distillation of that insane prism that you sort of see the world through. Um, which I'm just from a technical perspective, I mean, not to speak of the joke writing itself, but just like technically, every line that is in there is pulling its weight. Like there's no extraneous cross hatching or bullshit that's in there to fill the space. It's all every line is there deliberately to sell the joke, to sell the scene, to the shading is leading the eye to where you want it to go. Like I feel you are maybe like I don't know if this is innate or if it's deliberate, whatever it is, you have this capacity to just like sell a joke in the way that it needs to be, like the great word economy, all that kind of stuff. Is that conscious or do you just have that? Do you and your ridiculous, way more funny twin have that genetically?
Well, thank you, first of all, and I feel the same way when I first started doing this a few years ago, you were one of the first cartoonists that I actually got to like become a fan of. Like, because I grew up looking at these cartoons, but I wasn't really a fan of any individual people. I just sort of liked the genre. And
Right.
then once I started doing it, I gravitated towards, certain people, and you were one of the first people. I was like, oh, cool, I like what this guy's doing. I like this is inspiring.
You're saying you started with terrible taste and then eventually developed a palate.
Evolved over time, right?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Great.
Yeah, yeah. Um, it's funny. I don't. I do. I mean, when I teach classes, I do specifically focus on using as few words as possible, using as few lines as possible, and drawing focus with things like scale and shading and sort of the basic principles of any kind of drawing, I guess. So
Mm,
to some extent, yes, it is on purpose. But I also think with all things like that, eventually it just becomes innate. Like sometimes when
mm,
you like there are certain stress tests you can do for a cartoon after you're done drawing it. Like if I were to pull this out, would it still work? If it does, then I should probably pull this out.
Mm.
Is there a way I can get the funniest word towards the end of the caption, like that kind of thing? Like I
Right,
do
right,
think
right.
there are sort of tests you can do, but it does feel more like it's just kind of a salt to taste situation where you just kind of know when it's not working and you know when it is.
Mm.
So I think it is deliberate, but I don't think it's necessarily as systematic as it could be.
Right, right, right. I know there are people who are very like finicky about it, and then others who just kind of they couldn't tell you why they did what they did, but they just kind of put the lines down and go, that's how it comes out.
Yeah.
You're working traditionally or digitally or both?
I do both. So I do all of my sketching on an iPad, but you do both too, though, right? But you're
Yeah,
mostly, but you're most of your finishes are on paper, right?
yeah. I like to have an original. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I do when I sell one. I'll generally, if I have time, I draw it on paper,
Mm,
and if I don't sell it and it's just like one for the gram, then I'll
mm,
generally just keep the digital version and do that. I love drawing on paper so much. I know it's kind of corny, but
mm.
I kind of romanticize it, and I do like the
Same.
feel of the pen dragging across the. I feel like this is like the one environment in which this is not like a
This is encouraged. Yes.
but but I'm so used to drawing digitally that like when I do draw on paper, I'll find myself tapping the paper to try to undo a line. And
Yeah.
so the convenience of digital is still I'm still seduced by it often.
Yeah. I think like I still use undo when I'm working digitally, and it does slow me down. Like knowing subconsciously that it's there, it makes me more confident in the line, but it's because I know I have a safety net.
Yeah.
But I did that for so many years doing the comic strip, just working digitally, that I kind of lost the ability to draw by hand without that safety net. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like you're when you're working with ink, or you're drawing like on paper, it's like this line, you get one shot at it pretty
yeah.
much, unless you just erase it or throw the whole thing out. It's like it feels like there's more, the stakes are higher, or there's more risk to it, or there's more skill to it. That I lost that because it atrophied from me working digitally. So now that's partly why I love working by hand. Is not just the romance of it, but also just like the skill of it, like keeping that muscle up. You know?
Yeah. Totally. I think sometimes I'll prioritize what I draw first
Yeah.
based on how important it is to me that it looks right. Like I
Hmm.
forget there was one I was doing a few weeks ago, and I drew the face last, which is fucking crazy.
That is
And
crazy.
then I messed up the eyes, and I was like, well, now the whole draw. Like I already drawn the whole
Um,
background and everything. So then on the next one, I was like, okay, start with the eyes. Make sure you like the face before you draw this this room with perfect perspective. Make sure you like the eyes first.
that's so funny. Do you lightbox stuff?
Yeah, yeah. So actually, have you turned your iPad into a light box?
I only just figured out how to do it like 2 weeks ago.
Game changer. I mean, I have a light
Yeah.
box, and that's what I used for a long time.
Yeah.
And I do think it is a little bit better because it's brighter.
Yeah.
But man, the iPad, like, it's pretty. Also, I think about the paper I'm using is too high quality because the light box barely shines through it. I think I need to go. I forget what pound I got, but I think I could get like a
Mm.
slightly lower quality paper. But
Yeah. If you get like 80 pound, you should be pretty good with an iPad.
80
But then
pounds,
again,
got it. 80
by that,
pounds.
yeah, write this down. Um, I've always been curious because I don't know if you have people that you bounce stuff off to say, is this funny? Has this been done? Like I always bounce stuff off Scott or comedy friends or, like other New Yorker cartoonists. Ellis is great for like, has this been done? um, this is
Encyclopedia.
it's like encyclopedia of cartoons. Um, but I don't know. Do you have like, because it's Reuven, right? Your twin brother?
Yeah, yeah.
He's also very fun. He has whatever that gene is, that derangement of the brain. Do you ever bounce stuff off? Like, do you have a brains trust that you kind of bounce jokes off?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I'd love to add you to it if you're open to it.
No way. Lose my number.
um, I do send stuff to Alice all the time. Brendan Loper, I'll send stuff
Yeah, he's
to.
great.
Ruben actually is a really good resource just because he's not a cartoonist, but I trust his taste, and I think
Mm.
Yeah, I actually think it's nice sometimes to have some non-cartoon friends who just have good
Yes,
taste because you
totally.
get kinda lost in the it's sorta nice to have an outside perspective, I think, sometimes. So I have some comedy friends who are not cartoonists, like Steve
Mm,
Waltine, who I work with at the Late Show. I'll send stuff to him, and,
mm.
I mean, obviously, I force my wife to look at everything, but I know I need to exercise restraint and not and, because I can't
Not
abuse
everything, yeah,
that. Yeah.
for the sake of the marriage. But the other thing is like having that. It's the difference between doing an open mic in a room full of comics and actually doing a show in front of like an audience. Is
Yeah.
like getting that sense of like because the comedians and the cartoon they know the mechanics of it all, so they kind of can see the back end. So yeah, if you're thinking of like the structure or something, yeah, all right, maybe ask them. But if you really want to stress test a bit or a joke, like you got to run it through people who don't do this for a living.
Yeah, you don't want, like, all the comedians just nodding their heads and saying, like, "Yes, that works."
have you have you had that experience where comics are the worst audience because if you do a bit that's good or like it works, instead of them laughing, they'll go, "Yeah, that's good. It's a good bit."
Well crafted,
Just
efficient.
deadpan.
Kinda
It's
wish I
just
thought of that. I actually think I did think of that at one point.
yeah, inevitably. Wait, I had a similar bit. Yeah, I think it's tough though because we can get really siloed in our own little, our own little kingdom of just like cartooning and comedy writing. Like, because you always been. It seems like ever since you graduated, like when you're in Chicago, you're surrounded by improvisers, then you're surrounded by writers and comedians and cartoonists. Like you just have this. I don't know what the word is. It's not panopticon. You just have this like this atmosphere of funny people around you at all times, which like is fantastic. It's like such a great thing to have. Because you're always looking at the world and thinking like, is that funny? Is this funny? But then I feel like it's tough to get a read on what's funny, like to regular people. Do you know what I mean? Like, so
Yeah.
in the way that, like, I was drawing the other day, and someone was looking at me drawing, and they were looking as if it was like some dark magic, and I was like, oh, I forget that not everyone can draw because you just take it for granted because it's something you can just do, and you forget that some people don't write comedy, so what they find funny is different,
Yeah.
and some people can't draw, so they look at someone drawing and go, "Oh my god, how are you doing that?"
Yeah, it's tricky. I remember at Second City, we used to, the night before I mean, we would run a show for a year or something. There'd be a process that you go through, which was basically as one show was winding down and you were building out the next one, you would introduce new sketches and improvise them in the show, in the real show, and then if it worked, you would keep doing it and tweaking it. And as a result, you were always getting real time feedback from real audiences, and it's the best way to make sure your material worked. I really liked it. And then the
Mm,
funny thing is, after 6 weeks, 8 weeks, however long the process was, then you would stop doing that. The show would be done, and you would do an opening night, and the night before opening night, you would have friends and family night where you'd all invite your families, obviously, but also a bunch of comedy people would come, and it would sort of one for the community. And the stuff that works in that house is so different than the stuff that had been working for
mm,
the 2, 3 months leading up to it,
yeah,
because for 2 or 3 months, you had real people, like actual non-comedy people, and so, like, they were
mm,
laughing at totally different things than this room full of comedy people would laugh at. So then you do this friends and family night, and you'd be like, "Whoa," like, all the laughs are crazy, and, like, no one's laughing at the easy stuff, but they are laughing at the weird stuff, and it just,
yeah.
like, totally mess you up. And then the next night, you would do an opening for the public, and it would be back to normal.
So interesting. Yeah, it's to get that gauge, to kind of get that read on like what's working based on, and no one collectively gets together and goes, "All right, guys, we're not going to laugh at this. We're all going to laugh at this stuff." Like they just collectively have a different taste
Yeah.
or triggers, of their surprise.
I've used this example
Um,
before, but when I was doing Second City, it was right before the Cubs had won the World Series, and they were really bad.
mm,
And with an audience of non-comedy people, you could predictably get a laugh by saying anything where the point of it was that the Cubs were bad. Like if you were like, "Man, man, my day's so bad, I might as well be on the Cubs." and then the
Hey.
audience would lose it. And so it was kind of this magic trick, like you could bust it out at any point if you needed a laugh. And
Yeah.
then but then in front of other comedy people, they all hated it because they're like, "Oh my god, another Cubs joke." Like
So
we've
hack.
seen so many.
it's it's like Jets now. It's the Jets.
Yeah, it
Um,
is the Jets.
it is funny. Like other comics will give me shit for if I'm hosting, if I'm emceeing a show, and it's like it's a club show and it's an audience from out of town. It's a lot of tourists and whatever. Like I'll just use terms that I know they're gonna respond to, and they're kind of hack, and they're not. It's not jokes. It's just like it's the give it up for your next. All these like things that MCs just say. Comedy MCs say, and so I feel like such a hack doing it. And then I come up stage, and the old like grizzled comics who are just like road dogs, like haggard decades in, going ugh. Yuck. Just, it's like this encyclopedia of hack. You're just not allowed to touch.
I totally get the instinct though. I really do. I get it.
Yeah. It's reliable.
Yeah.
So you and I have the same editor on your editor on both Well, This Is Me and Hi, It's Me Again. It was Lucas Wetzel at Andrews McNeil Publishing.
Are you ready for the lamest fact check of all time? But I feel like I
Always.
should do it.
Do it, please,
Okay.
please.
So the
Oh,
first
was it
one,
Patty on the first one?
Patty Rice. Yeah, I just
Oh,
want to
it's
make sure
Patty.
Patty gets her
She's great.
flowers.
Patty's
Patty
great.
Rice, who was great, and then she started this one, but then she retired like halfway
Yeah.
through. So Lucas tagged in. So that's when I started
Right.
working with Lucas.
Right. Did she retired this year or last year, I think?
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
maybe 6 months ago. Oh, so this year,
Yeah.
yeah, like early this year, yeah.
Right. It's so interesting listening to different because we have, I know different people who do books with different publishers, and um, so especially when it comes to like comedy, like writing jokes, is the editor matters a lot. I think because if they get out of your way and just let you, from in a comedy perspective, just like let you be funny and encourage you to like have your own voice and tone, that's great. And then there's editors who think they are funny or who think they know, oh no, maybe change it to this or maybe that's better. Like I've had those editors and they're not great. But I feel like Lucas lets us just be, funny. Like lets us like he'll pick us up on grammatical or structural or technical, whatever things, but for the most part, kind of lets us do what we want.
Yeah, which is really nice when you're feeling confident in what you're doing, and then when you have a moment of self-doubt and you're like, "Man, I kinda want someone to tell me whether or not this is good." But then you have friends who can do that too, which is nice.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I send stuff to other cartoonists who are doing books and need to procrastinate.
Yep,
So
that's the way. I will give notes on 1,000 scripts before I write my own.
that's great. I want to keep talking, but I'm gonna flip. We're gonna do the camera flip and have a little bit of a scribble.
Okay.
You've got your iPad there, which is great. I think you know what? I've got my iPad as well. I'm gonna do iPad as well because I've never done live iPad on this show.
Oh, wow.
And I feel like I should because as much as I love what on paper, as do you, it is pretty amazing how good Procreate has gotten. Like it's and shout out to the Tasmanian product team at Procreate and Kyle T. Webster with his amazing brushes. Um, it's pretty good, right? I mean, do you use Procreate?
Yeah, wait, am I good here? Is this good?
Yeah, we can see. Do you want to bring your? Is it possible to bring your phone closer or no?
What would I do? What would you say if I told you it's not possible?
It's totally fine. It's totally fine. Um,
Oh,
first we did get, and I'm going to keep talking here, but we got a request in the chat from Grant Goodwine, who said he has a drawing idea, and I don't know if this is an idea starter or an actual thing. It's Buffaloaf, as in BUFFALOAF.
so I get like a pun on buffalo and loaf?
Right.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like I don't know, like I don't know if you ever do these kind of not Mad Libs, but like um what is it? I'm trying to think of the name. There's several different versions of like these cards that you can flip for like experimenting with ideas. Do you ever use those?
No.
I think Emily Flake did one called Joke in a Box, which is really good.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, that was also McNeil, I think. And it's like just if you're really stuck, and you're just like, ugh, I can't think of anything. I need to just kind of like an idea starter or something to just like go on. They can kind of help a little bit. Um, and also like with stand up, like taking two, my friend Anthony mentioned the other day how he's been doing this thing where you take two completely disparate ideas or bits, like existing bits, and then figure out how to write a segue between the two bits and then write a bit out of that segue, which is I'd never heard of before, but it's an interesting exercise to do.
Man, I feel like I have I have like no go-to exercises like that. I'm looking. Wait, so can you see mine still? I'm like
Yeah,
starting
yeah.
my head. I'm
It's
like
Buffalo for Grant Goodwin. That's great.
I think we both did like very similar things. I knew that yours was
Nice.
going to be better drawn in every instance here.
Not at all. We have another one from Paul Nezia. Paul said, draw Norbert, the morbidly obese hummingbird. Wow. Okay. Well, let's
Wait, is this a
see where
play
that comes.
on the Eddie Murphy movie Norbert?
I mean, Norbert, the hit movie, I think you'll find, uh, Norbert, which I think three people might have seen. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to draw a hummingbird from memory. How the hell do you come up with? Do you have like a visual vocabulary of things like of animals and stuff that you just pull from?
I would say anyone who just saw my drawing of the buffalo will know the answer to that is no. I think the hard part
Um,
about the butterfly is because you have to draw the movement of the wings, which I feel like is tricky.
right, of course, yeah. This one is from yeah, Paul. Paul, I think.
Oh,
Correct me if
Paul.
I'm wrong. Paul is the host of the Caption New Yorker Caption Contest
Yeah, no, I know
podcast
Paul's great. Yeah, that's exactly right.
and winner of, I think, the New Yorker Caption Contest multiple times. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Paul. Um, this is so weird. This looks like some rejected George Lucas Star Wars concept sketch, like for
Oh, well, I love
episode
yours.
one. It's like I don't know. The proboscis, if that's what you call it, it looks a little suspect here. Um, can I just for a second, because I saw you at this show or at the after party for this show, just gush a little bit about how much I love Gary Goldman and how excellent it is that he's going to be at your book launch.
Oh my gosh, I'm such a huge fan. I love Gary. Yeah, I think his comedy is so precise and sharp
Yeah,
and smart, and yeah, and I'm drawn to. I mean, he's vegan and I'm vegetarian, but
yeah,
we're both non-meat eating tall Jewish men who do comedy. So I think I'm drawn to him for those
it's a
reasons.
niche.
Yeah,
Find your people.
yeah. I'm a huge. No, I love Gary.
He's the best. Grandiloquent was his one man show that we were at.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
And
saw you there.
yeah, and it was one of those things that I remember going in and when people say, "Oh, you're going to love it." Like, people like breathlessly say, "Oh, it's the best. You're going to love this." I'm like, "Listen, I already love Gary. I'm sure it's going to be great." But I remember walking out of it going, "Holy crap. That was insane. Like
So
that was
good.
so good."
And so like
Yeah.
I like that he did a one man show that was as it still felt like funny in the same way that his stand up's funny. I didn't feel like he made it like
Yeah.
needlessly. It was still very fun. I feel like my bird feeder looks more like a bong at this point, but
Maybe that's why he's so obese, too many munchies.
that's right. That's right.
Um, That yeah, Paul said you got it right, and that's a scary looking hummingbird. Norbert. There was another request that we got through, just by the way, which is actually I think it was the very first one that we got. Please draw Eugene and his dog, who looks like Eugene.
Oh,
So
this
I'm gonna let
this
you lead the way on this one.
I'm actually very excited to see what you do with this.
Yeah, I'm gonna be copying you.
No, 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 no.
Entering
I want to see what you do. That's really
my
fun.
version of Eugene. Oh man. So I like the roundness of Eugene's head
Oh
and
yeah.
how far apart his little eyes are. He's got this real, it's almost like an innocence to him. Like he just showed up in the world 10 minutes ago.
I do feel very like protective of him.
Yeah. He's just trying to make his way in the world, you know? He's just got things to do and he's going to be fine. But he just needs to ask you a question.
He's a little hungry.
Yeah. His question is, are you going to finish that? Uh, yeah, there's, I don't know if you, with the goal, I don't know if you saw, I'm sure you did, the bit that he does about the abbreviations of the American states.
Oh yeah, it's so good.
It's one of those bits that the first time you see it or hear it, it's like, well, like you take it in, you laugh at it, and you go, boy, that was a good bit. And then you watch it again or you listen to it again, and you realize how many laugh lines there are in that chunk. About it's one chunk. He gets on. I think he did it on. Did you do it on Colbert or
I feel like it was Conan, maybe. I can't remember
Conan?
now.
Yeah, I think it was Conan. And he just keeps going with this one single bit. Most comics have like a 5 minute set with different topics and stuff. Like he's just got this one bit that keeps going. And I don't know, he just manages to find all these laughs in this one idea about the state abbreviations. And he does it. It's squeaky clean.
Yep.
It is clean as a whistle. It's hilariously funny. And no one can, it's the one of those bits where even if you try to tell someone the bit, you can't. You can't repeat the bit because it has to be told by him.
Yeah, it's sort of deceptively simple, but it actually is kind of complicated. I totally know what you mean, and it's so elegant. I remember hearing that for the first
Yeah.
time. It's just like so compact and so elegant.
Yeah. 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 And he's able to distill that one idea. I think Norm used to kind of do that as well, like drag out one idea into these kind of extended monologues
Oh
and
yeah, he
just
would
see
like
how
tell
far he could take it.
like one story and turn it into a thing. Okay, wait, I
Right.
want to see yours too. Oh my god, I love yours so much. That's
This is
canon.
that's is that on
Don't,
model?
Jason, don't delete that. That's canon. Can you send that to me?
I'm gonna send this JPEG to you.
That's
Oh
so funny.
man, this is I don't know what's his name. What's Eugene's dog's name?
Oh man, I was gonna say Dog Gene, but then that's too much like Dilbert and Dogbert.
Yeah, let's not go there. Uh, the maybe the people in the chat can name Eugene's dog. I know that there are some people. I noticed some faces and names in the who are joined who are watching this tonight. Some are actually from overseas because we're doing an evening one, so they can tune in. They are people who are actually going to be at your book launch tomorrow. There are people in the chat who are going to be there tomorrow night,
Oh my
which is
god,
really exciting.
that's
Yeah.
fun. I'm excited to see. I'm excited to see you all.
Oh, Stan said, "Isn't Eugene's dog also named Eugene?"
Actually, honestly, that's canon. Yes, that's true now.
Yeah, yeah. We're really wow. There's a lot of canon happening here. There's a lot going on here. Um, I wanted to ask you. There's always something I've been curious about with your because you are prolific. You have like so many different cartoons, and there's one thing I think you and I think I've asked Amy Huang this and Sophia Warren. I don't think I've asked anyone else, but it's with the sheer volume of cartoons that you have. how the hell do you file them and search for them? Because you have all these different topics and cartoons. Like, how do you file? How do you keep all the cartoons? Where do you keep them? How do you file them?
I think I keep them. I think I do it really poorly. And if Amy and Sophia have better ways of doing this, I honestly want to steal them from them. I don't. I just have a folder on my. I'll show you. Wait, we're looking at it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
like, so like
Was
here,
on your iPad.
these are the ideas that I have yet to actually. These are just like rough sketches I need to turn
Yeah.
into finished products. And
Okay.
then I have these are cartoons that are fully drawn, but I haven't submitted yet. So those are like
Okay.
banked. These are ones
Right.
I have subbed, but they haven't bought.
Yeah.
And then these are ones that I posted on Instagram in the last year. And
Wow.
then these are ones I've sold to the New Yorker, but they haven't run yet.
Run them yet.
Oops. And then wait, house. And then these are the book ones. In other words, basically what I'm saying is I don't really have a very good system because a lot of times like you want to like when you're doing a carousel on Instagram or something, you want to pick something thematic. And so
Yeah.
it's sort of hard. You just kind
Right.
of have to remember, like, oh wait, what are my dog cartoons? And inevitably, you just won't remember all of them.
Right. Right. So you just
What do you
in
do?
your brain, that's how you remember them. It's just your brain is the system.
Yes, which is horrible, but it was the best one I got.
I always wondered that. Is that on the cloud or is that just locally on your iPad?
I think I sort of panicked a while ago, and I made sure that my iPad was backing up to iCloud,
Oh,
and
good.
that
Okay.
included Procreate. But I still worry that maybe
Okay.
there's like something that's like backing up the system files, but not the art files or something. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, I'm not quite sure how that works. I have to figure that out. Because it feels like it's a pretty good system as far as like, everything's in the one place. It's not spread across different, cloud folders and machines and stuff. But I don't know. I don't think anyone really talks about that much about the when you when you have so many different jokes and cartoons, like how do you manage them? How do you catalog them all? If someone goes, "Hey, do you have anything on like when we do Toonstack?" And anyone who hasn't subscribed to Toonstack, subscribe to Toonstack on Substack. It's great. Every couple of weeks we do uh, a newsletter on a different topic. It's a bunch of New Yorker cartoonists, um, and so we'll just pick a topic and do cartoons on it. And I go through old cartoons. I'm like, I really need to get better at cataloging these so that when someone says, "Hey, do you have anything on?" like picnics or travel or whatever, there's some kind of, I don't know, there's like a way to index them or tag them or search them.
Yeah, if you crack this, you got to you make it and then sell it to the whole community, and you'll make a fortune.
Yeah, yeah. There was an attempt at one point, I think, with cartoon collections or cartoon stock to just upload everything to that and then have it searchable with tags, but I don't think that ever really worked. Wait, who is this dog? Is this Eugene?
This is a cat. This is cat Eugene.
That's a
Now.
cat, Eugene. Sorry, I can't see it. Oh, I can see it now. I can see it
I went rogue. I went rogue.
now. It went
Jason,
rogue.
do you have a character that you come back to?
So I remember seeing, I think it was in Memphis or something. I'm just remembering this now. So Joe Dater, our friend Joe, he has this character that he often reuses. And there's this cartoon, and I have it above my desk here. Um, can you see it? It's that one. I think are you in this?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, Eugene's in this. Eugene's in this. And it's what if this is all just a cartoon? And
I
it's
love that. Wait,
everyone's. It's like Steed, it's Booth, the dog on your shirt. It's Roz, it's Emily Flake, it's David Cypress, it's Eugene, it's Lars's thumbhead guy. I think there's a Chuck Sax in there. There's um, uh, Charlie Adams's Lurch, Ed Corrin's furry creature there, and then Ned, which
yeah.
is Ellis's Ned helped out, and then Amy Huang's character. Um, and what I love about all of those, because and then there's Joe's, just characters on the couch. Um, the thing I love about all of these is that they're not necessarily all repeated characters. Sometimes they are. Like that's Emily's autobiographical version of her. Um, but I don't know, every single one of them has a totally different style. And today, I was just talking to the AKC Museum of the Dog. They're doing an exhibition called New Yorker Cartoons About Dogs. It's like a New Yorker covers and cartoons and illustrations about dogs. And I think that opens tomorrow, actually. And they were sort of, one of the questions they were asking in the interview thing in the bio was like, what was it that like led to your first sale, or what was the thing that changed, when you were pitching, right? And for me, I sold to Bob Mankoff, like was my first sale. Was that your first sale, to Bob or to Emma?
Emma.
Emma, okay. So the thing that changed it was that I stopped drawing what I thought a New Yorker cartoon was meant to look like.
Oh
Because I
yeah.
kept just drawing what I thought a New Yorker cartoon was meant to be. And I just changed it and drew like myself, I guess. So that was when I sold. Was I drew something as my own style, and I look at all those styles. And I'm like, well, they're all. I could spot them from the moon. All those different styles are so different, and that's what makes them good. Is that they're so unique.
So what do you remember what it was that changed when you made your own style? Like when you leaned into that?
Sheer frustration, abject misery, just nonstop rejection for years and years, and just being so frustrated at not selling anything.
Fair, fair, fair.
He did sit me down. Bob did sit me down one day, and he gave me this weird analogy about my hair. He was like, how do you, when you get up in the morning, you have a shower, you do your hair. How do you, like, I'm like, what are you talking about? And I'm trying to follow the thread. But he said, well, you decide to wear your hair that way. You've made a decision to wear your hair in that way. Somehow along the line, whether you saw someone else wear a similar hairstyle, you saw it in a magazine or a TV show or a movie, or you know, some hairdresser or a parent or someone made your hair like that at some point, and that's how you've developed. That's how you wear your hair. He said, so why is that any different than your drawing? Like, what? Why are you? Uh, why is your drawing not as distinct as your hairstyle?
Oh wow.
And I was really trying to follow along. And at the time, I didn't get it. I was just so dense. I didn't understand what he was talking about. But eventually it sunk in.
It's funny because I think of you as someone with a very specific style. I kind of want to see your old stuff now and see what it was you were drawing before.
It was not good. Like, I'll show you privately, but it was what I thought. Like, I'd look at, Peter Arno and Chuck Saxon and all these people and George Booth and people who I absolutely have no business trying to ape, you know, who in their own right, if you really look at them, they all have their own unique style. But in my head, they were the style guide for me. That was
Mm.
my like, oh, that's what they look like. That's what the cartoons have to look like. And then going through the New Yorker 100th anniversary exhibition today at the public library, I was like, oh, every single one of these cartoons has a totally different style. Like, but in my head, that was the style guide. It's kind of contradictory, you know?
I actually remember when I first started out, I showed Alice my one of my early batches, and it wasn't even as much about the style as it was about the jokes themselves. But he
Right.
said, this feels like you're trying to draw a New Yorker cartoon, and he just think
I,
you do better if you drew an Asher Perlman cartoon that could be in the New Yorker. And
that's
like
great advice.
again, like yeah, it's so simple and like obvious when you think about it. But that I think I did sell like 1 month after he said that.
Wow. So what you're saying is he's not a complete idiot.
No, I do think he's a complete idiot, but broken clock and never on twice a day. That whole thing.
Brilliant. Yeah, I mean, he is a font of wisdom. He is yeah, he's got very good advice. And again, it's wasted over on Beehive. Truly, I
Beehive,
really
that's the one he's
should.
on. We got it.
Substack. He really should come over to Substack so that I can bother him and get him on the show.
How did you? Because
Um,
you have like, I mean, you have so many people on Substack following you. Well, how did you build out? I mean, I feel like you're like very good at this. What do you do?
I actually, honestly, it was a similar thing to the New Yorker where I'd stopped trying to copy what they said. Oh, this is the successful thing to do. This is the done thing. This is I just kind of leaned into my own thing, what I thought it was. And I just kind of write for my own people. And if they don't like it, that's totally fine. They can leave. I kind of celebrate the unsubscribes. Um, and yeah, I just stopped worrying about numbers and going up and all that kind of stuff. Like, I had a mailing list for many years because I would stand out the front. If I did a show and I did well, and so really, I would stand out front of the show and I would hand out these business cards with a QR code on it. And it would be like for my newsletter, for my MailChimp. I had a MailChimp. And it was basically to tell people, all it was every week I would email like what I was going to be doing next week, like what shows I was going to be at, what, venues, what clubs. And then people would come to shows. They'd bring friends. They go, oh, yeah, you're the guy we saw at the stand or at Dangerfields or whatever it was. And it was kind of just a mercenary way of getting booked. Um, I just wanted to, get spots. And the bookers were like, oh, he brings people. Great. We'll book him again. Wasn't because it was good. So there was a point where I built that list. I would prune it a lot, but I built that list on MailChimp and I just had it for, for years. And there's still people on the Substack list from that original mailing list,
Oh
but I
wow. Okay.
ported it over. So they're real people that I've met.
Any original Mailchimp people, if you're here, say something. That's fun. I love that.
Yeah, shout out in the chat if you joined when I gave out a business card with a QR code on it. Yeah, I brought that over to Substack in 2020, and which is pretty early on, I guess, for Substack. And then just kind of just kept doing the weekly thing. And I think that's the thing. It was like consistent. It was like every week I'd do it. And then I started doing like drawings and like oh yeah, there we go. Alan Moyle. He said, yep, might have, but probably even pre that. Okay. Um,
That's awesome.
yeah, it just kind of evolved over time. I've been building it for a long time. And I guess the good thing about Substack is like that I like about it is that the recommendation engine, like it helps you find people who actually like your stuff instead of you trying to please the whole world and just get followers for the sake of followers. Like it's people who actually opt in
Yeah.
and like your stuff. Do you
I've
find the
been,
same? Because you just joined, right? You just joined Substack. How have you found it?
yeah, I just started, I think a month ago, or yeah, like a month ago now. Because you and I talked about it when we were in Philadelphia.
Yes.
Because I was toying around um, yeah, which one to go with. And ultimately I did go, and I do like it a lot. It feels kind of like what I wanted Instagram to be, but it just
Yeah.
never was. And
Right.
I love Instagram. I mean, I still use it all the time, but I prefer, I mean, as a consumer, I'm someone who prefers things that exist outside of the algorithm now, just because
Yeah.
I don't like being catered to my worst instincts. And I think I like emails more. So
Mm.
just as a user, I prefer it. And I think people, yeah, I don't know. I think it's better for our brains.
Yeah. Okay. And you, how many have you done now? How many Substacks have you done?
3, I think.
And are you finding people are commenting or like sharing stuff or like what's working for you?
Yeah, it's cool. Like the community that builds up around it is nice. I like it.
Oh, that's good. Okay. That was a big piece for me was like finding other cartoons was, um, in the comments, they like end up following or recommending similar stuff.
Oh yeah.
That's really always really nice. So tomorrow night we've got the book launch at House. Everyone's going to be there. It's going to be great. You said there's only a few tickets left, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah. If you go on the Bell House website, there should be. I think
For
there are a few
the
left.
launch?
Yes, yeah, yeah. If you go on the Bell House website, I know there are a few available. Um, Tomorrow night, the show's at 7:30. But the doors will
Okay.
open at 6:30. So come on by. I have some like door prizes and stuff. We'll be signing books and just grabbing a drink and hanging out. And then yeah, show's at 7:30, and I think it should go like 60 to 90 minutes or something. And I'll sign some more books, and it'll be cool.
Amazing.
Yeah,
And so did you, is that on, can they find that on your Substack as well, that information?
it is. It should be on there, but yeah,
Great.
it definitely is on there if you like go through my most recent newsletter, but it's also I think it might be easier if you just go on my Instagram and click on the links in the bio. It's definitely there. I don't know how to do like link in bio.
Great. Right. Okay. Yeah, I mentioned it just because I did have a couple of people ask about it today, and I know that there are some cartoonists who are in town from overseas who are going to be coming as well.
Oh, no kidding. Who
Yeah. Do you know Michael McFarlane?
Oh, cool.
McFarlane? Yeah, yeah. There's a couple. Yeah. There's just people in town, I guess, just like visiting, and they're just all lined up.
Oh, man.
Um,
Okay.
yeah, and members of the National Cartoonist Society who are going to be there, and obviously other New Yorker cartoonists. Yeah, because it's the last one was so huge. I mean, you sold out the last one. It was you. You had like Jordan Klepper there, and it was huge.
Yeah, yeah. It was awesome. It's so funny. I always get nervous before these things, and then they happen, and it's just like the best feeling out. I mean, it's like everyone's so nice, and the community shows up, and it's just like cool to see
Yeah.
that many cartoonists all in the same room together.
Yeah, yeah, like the 100th anniversary party, but with less hangovers. Maybe I don't know. Who knows?
Slightly
Um,
fewer.
that was that was one hell of a night. Well, so anyone who hasn't, by the way, subscribed already, you can actually, if next to, um, um, I think it's next to your name, you have, I think you can just click subscribe. If next to Ash's name on the live stream here, you can just click subscribe. And if not, just go to Ash's profile and subscribe to his Substack. Is there anything that's kind of like coming up that you've got? Like, obviously, the book is priority one and all that kind of thing. Are you doing a book tour? Or you got some stuff coming up with that, like to promote the book?
Yeah, I'll be in. So yeah, Brooklyn launches tomorrow, and then
Right.
a week from tomorrow, I'll be in Los Angeles at Village Well, and then
Oh, cool. Wow.
a week from that, I'll be in Philadelphia at Head House Books, and then
Right.
I'm taking a little bit of break because, like you said, I work at the Late Show, and we don't have
Right.
I can't really just like take time off, but
Right.
then in the new year, I have a week off that I'm gonna go to Seattle, Washington, and Olympia, Washington,
Wow.
and hopefully some other spots. So yeah, I'll be doing a tour and trying to see as many people as I can. I want to add a stop in Portland because I hear Powell's is like a really cool bookstore, but I haven't.
Yeah, Pals is amazing. It's
Oh,
so
you've been?
good.
Okay, yeah. People keep
Yeah,
telling
yeah.
me it's good.
It's epic. It's huge. I mean, Pals is one of those insane. It's like the Disneyland of books. It's just huge. It's like I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it. I've never seen anything like it before.
Oh
But
wow.
yeah, if you got to do Pals if you're in Portland, it's epic.
And Tom Toro's out there. Tom and I are actually going to do
Yeah.
at in Seattle. We're going to do a shared event because he has a book coming out in
Yeah, he does.
a month, I think.
That's right. Yeah, yeah. Everyone who's watching, if you don't know who Tom Toro is, go back. He was a guest a couple of weeks back. He has a Substack as well. Tom Toro is Toro. If you want to subscribe to his Substack, he's fantastic. Yeah, he's got a book coming out in. I think is it next week or the week after. I think he's got a book coming out.
I think so. I thought maybe it was
Yeah.
October, but I can't remember.
Yeah, I didn't even know what day it is. All right. Well, I am aware that I have kept you for more than the hour that that I asked, and I could literally just sit and draw with you and talk shop all night. But I'm going to see you tomorrow night. I'm going to see you at the launch. Hopefully, you're wearing your George Booth T-shirt. If not. Can we get a look at that for a second? Is that official New Yorker
I
merch?
love it. Is I literally bought this on
So good.
NewYorker.com, man. I love it.
So good. I love it. And everyone who hasn't already, please subscribe to Ash's Substack. Buy the book. It's called Hi, It's Me Again with Andrews McNeil Publishing. Asha, you're the absolute coolest. Thank you for coming on and scribbling with me. Be prepared to be tagged in annoying Instagram reels of us talking shit on this show.
Man, thank you so much for having me. This is the best. And thanks for attending, everyone who's here. Stan, I just saw that you said you got to find the Seattle details. I know it's February at Elliott Bay, but I can't remember. I think it's February 11th at Elliott Bay Books with me and Tom Toro. So I'll
Yeah.
if you follow me and I'll share a link when I have it, but I don't have it yet.
Yeah. Follow Asher Perlman on Instagram and follow his Substack for all the details of the book tour. All right. Thanks, buddy. And congratulations. It's epic. I mean, the book is ridiculous. I'm in awe, and equally, I hate you very much. So
Likewise, but all love. No, thanks you so much, man. You're the best. I really appreciate it.
of course. All right. Have a good night, brother. See ya.
All right. See ya.
Bye.